Hi, boys and girls. It's me, Monty, and welcome back to our Passion Week podcast. I'm joined again, as always, by my brothers, Lenny.
Hi.
Frankie.
Hi.
And our cousin Earl.
Oh.
He says hi.
Oh, cool. So for today's podcast, rather than just looking at one individual, we're going to look at two different people who were there during the Passion Week. The two people we're going to look at today are the thieves on the cross. Guys, what comes to mind when we think about the thieves on the cross?
Well, Monty, when I think of the two thieves, I think of, like we were talking about with Barabbas, the just perfect example of what Jesus came and who Jesus came to die for. The sinners lost in their sin and just following after the flesh and doing what we desire, and we get ourselves in so much trouble when we do that.
What about you, Frankie?
Well, I think of the first thief, and he was not a cool guy. Like, he was totally mocking Jesus on the cross.
How did he mock Jesus?
Well, in Luke 23:39, he says, if you are Christ, save yourself and save us. But he really didn't even care if he was the Christ or not. He just wanted to be saved.
Did he ever get right with Jesus before he died? Did he ever ask for forgiveness?
Definitely not, dude. He forgot who Jesus was. He didn't know the character of God, and ultimately rejected Jesus and died in his sins.
Wow, that's so sad. What about the second thief? Earl, do you have anything you want to say?
Earl says he's the opposite of the first thief. In that same chapter in Luke 23, later on in verse 40, it talks about how the other thief defended Jesus. And he says in verse 40, he says, but the other criminal protected Jesus. And he said, do you not fear God even when you have been sentenced to death? We deserve to die for the things and the crimes that we have done, but this man has done nothing wrong. And he turned to Jesus and said, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom.
Wow, that's so different from the first thief. The first thief, he only wanted freedom from his physical punishment. He only cared about himself. But this one, he just wanted to have Jesus remember him.
Yeah, Monty, and I wanted to also add that he sought to be right with Jesus. He recognized Jesus and all the power that and authority that he carried. And we can have the same trust that the second thief had, because Jesus tells him in verse 43, and it says, and Jesus replied, I assure you, today you will be with me in paradise. And we can have that same assurance that we can be with Jesus in heaven one day.
Wow, that's amazing. There's a lot of lessons that we can learn from this. Earl, do you have anything you'd want to mention?
No matter what others are saying around you, always stand firm for him and what you believe in. We are all given a choice to reject or accept him. Now, what choice will you make?
Wow, that's really deep, Earl. Thank you. Well, that's all for today's Passion Week podcast. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.